Did you vote for Obama?
I did.
Well, see, then you're not racist. That's all you need. That's all you need. Wait, was Obama 2008?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You might want to pick your microphone up and like bring it to your face because you'll have to lean into it a lot.
It just depends on how often he wants to comment.
That's
yeah.
if he just doesn't want to talk at all.
If he wants to hold back for a minute, and then grab it in a minute. I mean, don't pressure the man.
He realized like halfway, like right at the very beginning, he was like, "Oh yeah, we're immediately going into the racism." All right, never mind. I'm putting the microphone back down.
Yeah, just like I don't need recordings of my voice talking about this shit on the internet.
Noah's back on the show. Thank you for coming back on the show, Noah. You're filling in for Will today.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't know where Will is. He didn't tell me, but
it's nice to have a civilized human being on the podcast sometimes.
Yeah.
That's all three of us, not just Will.
Yeah,
just to be fair here, just not dogging on my commie friendo.
Yeah, me and you and Will, none of us are civilized, but having Noah on the show really does bring civility to the show. Mm-hmm. It's got a whole new feeling to it.
Raises us up just a little bit, like in the social strata.
Out of the untouchable caste of India. Yeah. What is their deal?
ETA in Japan or whatever.
The ones that turned into the Yakuza.
Yeah.
Well, no, they have a whole underclass in Japan too.
Yeah, that's the ETA.
Yeah. Eric,
I think there's
this
probably
to me.
more words to it, and I'm sure that but yeah, those are the guys.
You're telling me you don't speak fluent Japanese?
I don't, surprisingly. Yeah,
but that was part of the Axis powers, Eric. That's part of your backstory.
I'm still working on German. My Italian accent is very good though.
Yeah,
I do all right with the Italian accent.
That could also be Greek. They're not that far away from each other. They sound almost identical.
Shut your fucking face, you Mediterranean racist fuck.
Welcome to the AnythingCast. I'm Patrick.
I am Italian Eric.
Noah.
And I don't even know where Will is. I have no idea. He said something about like it was Christmas, but like communists don't believe in religion. So
he's not in glorious Italia. I tell you that right now.
He might be in Russia. He could be in Cuba. He could be in China.
Fucking communist shit.
Yeah, there's plenty of communist places he could have gone. Wait, okay, I've been thinking about this, and you guys actually would know the answer. Oh. What was the fucking difference for fascism in Spain? Like,
what?
Oh.
Like, so like Spain had like their own big fascist movement, right?
Yeah, so they had a civil war over it.
Yeah. So
funny thing about that, the exact differences between Nazi fascism, Italian fascism,
I know those
Spanish
ones.
Fascism aren't super duper well defined in the first fucking place.
Oh yeah, fascism is fascism, man.
Yeah, but who was the other that like the nation was against in Spain?
Non-Spaniards, if I remember correctly, because that's kind of like the key point of fascism is that the in group is just your nation.
Yeah.
So hyper-nationalist xenophobia tends to be a symptom of fascism.
Who were the non-Spaniards in Spain at the time?
I mean, they kicked out the Muslims a while ago.
Muslims and French people.
That's what I was thinking.
I guess just old Muslims and French people, though. Yeah, I mean, there's not.
Yeah,
you're telling me they had
Spain already purged all the non-Spaniards like 100 or 2 years
That's exactly
before.
what I was thinking. I was like, didn't they get the Muslims out of Spain and it was a big deal?
Famously.
Yeah, famously. And then so like they turned.
No one expected it, but I can't remember what it was called.
I mean, you can't expect much from people who have a lisp as part of their language.
Oh, wait,
fair enough.
You know what? It might have been. It might have been the Jews.
What?
Like, there were a lot of Jews in Spain, right?
I mean, that doesn't really count because Jews kind of just got expelled from a lot of places historically. That's not a joke.
I mean,
no, but it is funny.
wrong.
It is funny to just be like, no, that doesn't count because everybody gets rid of the Jews.
Funny for people who aren't Jewish, I guess, but
yeah,
that's just a fact.
Several million people would find it less fun. But it's
yeah,
cool.
I mean, Noah doesn't find it funny because he's from Lebanon.
Depending on how things go in Gaza, there might be several million less of them. But then again, it seems more like they're the ones genociding this
I think they're the ones coming out on top this time.
Yeah, they decided to go with their own fascist route.
Kind of.
Fascist Israel. What an ironic twist.
What were the chances, dude? Seriously,
how often do abused children become abusers?
Ooh, yeah, okay.
I mean, it's not that weird.
Wait a minute.
I mean, all things considered, it's still bad, but it's not that weird.
Israel's also always been kind of hyper-militarized.
Yeah.
They always
I mean, let's be real. Israel is America, but in Europe.
This kind of disproves that...
Is Israel in Europe? I need a fucking map. I'm American as
Answer
shit over
this,
here.
dude. Where's Turkey? Is Turkey in Europe or Asia?
Next to chicken, I guess.
It's the most American answer.
Above the ham and the beef, but before the chicken.
Nah, dude, turkey's the best fucking meat. Fuck y'all.
Fuck you.
No, dude. You think turkey's better than, like, worse than chicken?
Yes.
I'll eat turkey every day over chicken.
No.
Easy.
No.
Duck's the best meat.
Dog?
No,
Duck.
duck.
Oh, I thought you said dog. I was
What
like,
the fuck, man?
I was like, God
Calm
damn.
down.
Growing up in Mexico did some shit.
Holly better watch out, Patrick.
Oh man.
I don't know how. You know what that disproves though? That disproves that hack bit that people say where they say like, has anybody ever considered that like Hitler just got rid of all the bad Jews? Like,
Sorry. What?
have you never heard somebody say that?
What does him eating a dog in Mexico have to
No,
do
I'm
with
talking
Hitler
about, like,
killing
the-
only all the bad?
I only speak
Jews?
to,
All right,
I only
fine.
speak to civilized people.
Yeah. I mean, like Israel becoming a fascist state kind of
mean-
disproves because, like, obviously the bad Jews are still around.
If you only kill and imprison Jews when they break the law, that's just the normal rule of law.
Well,
as long as
as far
everyone
as
else
America's
is
concerned.
getting persecuted the same way. Now, whether or not the laws are great is kind of meh. Just depends. But as long as they're being applied evenly, then it's not particularly.
Let's be honest, laws have never been
Racist.
applied evenly.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I mean, look at the Luigi Mangione case where they're getting him for terrorism.
That's why the Magna Carta was such a big like deal historically too.
the fuck is the Magna Carta?
It was I think it was a British document. They forced the king to sign it. Basically said he has to follow the law like everyone else.
Ooh,
Yeah,
get
basically.
fucked.
It was one of the first big sheets of paper where the leader was forced to sign something that said that he would have less power.
Why didn't the French do that for the French Revolution?
They just killed
They
them
did.
instead.
Yeah, I was about to say they did. They just skipped the
Okay.
middle part.
Yeah, all right. Why were the French so fucking violent, dude?
The French go hard is all I can say on that, man.
Okay.
Like,
I mean,
they
yeah, I
killed their
guess.
king and then they started killing each other.
Did they?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got really killy for a good
They
century
got
or
really
so.
murdery.
What was the deal with Marie Antoinette?
She was a like teenage aristocrat who they just kind of blamed everything
Really?
on.
Yeah, she was mostly a scapegoat.
Yeah,
she
she
didn't
didn't
have
really
much
do anything
Teenage
wrong.
little girl. How old was she?
She's like 19.
I don't know.
She was like 19.
I could Google
Definitely
it.
younger than 25, I'd say.
I'm
Yeah.
googling it. How old was Marie? Because like they fucked her shit up, right? They cut her head off.
Yeah, I mean, it
mean-
was relatively quick for the time. They
Yeah,
didn't
I
really
mean, like-
abuse her or anything like that.
She was treated like an aristocrat until the blade came down.
Nah, she was 37 apparently.
Oh,
No
Thank
fucking
God.
way.
Yeah.
Well, either way, she was an out of touch fucking.
Yeah, she was out of touch. Like that was her like major crime. Is she would like
probably
Wait,
never.
that was her major crime. She was out of touch.
yeah, she
Well-
would gamble and she was like spend money frivolously on like new dresses and shit like that. And
she was
they
the
didn't like
king's
that.
wife.
Yeah, she was also the king's wife.
Oh, she was the king's wife.
Yeah, she was the
Yeah.
queen.
Okay.
Wait, did you not know that part?
No.
Yeah, he put a ring on it and then they
And
took her
then-
head off.
Well, they took his head off first, right? Or was she the first one?
I
to
don't know
go?
who was first.
There's no way she got through that without getting raped. There's no way.
I don't actually. I think they kind of treated her well.
Really?
It's
Okay.
hard to say because on paper you're gonna say you treated her well.
That's true as
It's
well.
just
Like,
like-
history is written by the victors, and we know who won. So
yeah,
in my
they say
head-
they treated her great
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
time. If she had had her own entry in that particular biography, she would have phrased it slightly differently.
In my head, I'm like, did they whipped her first? They made her a crown of thorns. They made her carry the
life
guillotine
isn't
out.
a Game of Thrones episode, man. Like,
They made her suck the dirtiest guard's penis.
dirty 𝒏𝒂𝒓𝒂𝒅, they call him.
Don't you mean Jacques? No, we call him Jacques.
You're right. That's not how that's pronounced.
Also, that's just every guy in France.
But,
There's no specialized dirtiest man in France at the time.
No, that's the trick.
Yeah.
He was the dirtiest one.
My God.
It was.
You can smell his uncircumcised.
It was
penis
more
down
a
the
political
street.
clusterfuck than like social unrest, to be honest.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. It was mostly like people who would be political prisoners or
Who
something.
was the dude who like tried to shoot himself before they could like cut his head off?
Oh, Robespierre.
Yeah,
Robespierre. Yeah, that
He was
sucks.
also, ironically, one of the key figures behind killing the king and deposing him. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a funny little thing where it says like Robespierre started killing people until people realized they shouldn't kill people, so they killed him.
Yeah.
Like it showed him just cutting heads off.
They almost
and then
had a come to
eventually-
the light moment. Then they're like, this guy keeps killing people. We should kill him.
Didn't they like try to he was in court or something when they and he was trying to convince people not to fucking kill him or something, and then he ran away and they tried to shoot himself.
Something kind of like that.
That would suck.
He'd been
dude.
running the kill all the political dissidents
I do not
faction for a while.
understand.
So He was He was like France's Will.
I don't understand capturing someone who is trying to kill themselves so that you can kill them.
Oh, because you can do it in public, obviously.
I mean, I feel like the end goal was achieved if you had just let him be.
He probably would have bled out.
It's a power move. You do it to you don't get to kill you. We get to kill you on our terms.
Was Robespierre a communist?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not really. No.
He was, I think, at least on paper, he wanted a republic, like a stronger republic.
Okay.
Yeah. He also wanted to get rid of religion. He wanted to change the names of the days. He wanted everything from the old thing to
Napoleon
a ridiculous
rises from
degree.
this, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because Napoleon was a sensible, no-nonsense man who just happened to be very ambitious and a great
He was also
position.
way better at killing people than everyone else.
Yeah.
He
just
was good
way
at
better.
killing people without 300 cronies and with everyone being armed at the time.
Yeah.
As
did that
opposed
really
to
fucked up
Robespierre,
thing, though.
who killed people in Congress. Napoleon killed people on the battlefield with guns and shit.
No, dude. There was that because I recently got into Napoleon because I was I want to learn more about Napoleon. One of the things that Napoleon did before, during all that shit, was he famously took cannons out into the streets of Paris for a I don't know, what do you call that? Like a fucking
Parade?
No, an angry
triumph?
parade.
An angry
triumph?
Yeah,
parade?
what do you call an angry parade where they're fucking shit up, dude?
Occupation?
No, dude,
siege?
riot? Burning people. Yeah, riot. Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Angry parade.
Fuck
right.
you, all right? Hey, fuck you. Hey, go fuck yourself. Whatever. I ain't gotta know fucking words.
Angry parade.
Yeah, that's what they call it in France. You know what they call a parade in France.
This is La Parade d'Anglais.
He took cannons out, and then they were throwing bricks and shit at his soldiers.
That
So he
seems
just
like a...
And then
That
he
seems
shot
like
lead
about
at them.
Yeah, he shot cannons into the crowd.
One of these
I'll say,
things is
that
more
seems about as
more
smart
effective.
as that baseball bat guy with the two rednecks at the end of the driveway.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, what?
You know about him, the dumpster defender?
Dumpster defender?
Yeah, he's famous on the internet. He's going to prison for 20
No,
years.
I don't know who that is.
There was the dude who got in an altercation with another guy who lived next to him over a mattress that was next to a dumpster.
Basically, there were four rednecks.
Yeah, I was gonna
a
say
man
there's
and his
4.
wife, and then a man and his son.
A hootenanny of rednecks. I got you.
Yeah.
They were
a murder of
the
rednecks.
man and the son had apparently left some mattress at the end. And the man and his wife, the man was having I don't know, a fucking manic episode where he was freaking the absolute fuck out, making a lot of very violent threats towards the fatter man and his son. But you'll notice in the video that the fatter man and his son are both armed with firearms.
Yeah, the fat father has a pistol and the fat son has a shotgun.
And they keep telling him, yeah, but don't.
Yeah, but back
Or we'll
off.
It's
shoot you.
sensible advice.
Yeah.
So then he does.
He says,
and they shoot him.
Dude, he says,
They warned him.
he keeps saying I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna fucking you
said-
brought guns out in front of my kids. I'm gonna fucking
No,
kill you.
he
And he
didn't.
goes, then
It's
3
like,
feet of me, I'm gonna
shoot
kill you. I'm gonna kill
You come
you.
over here, I'm gonna shoot you.
Take your swing.
Take your
Take
swing.
your
Oh,
swing.
that's where that's from.
Yeah, it's the
Take
take your
your swing.
swing. Go on, take your swing. Because he's just got a baseball bat.
Because why?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
kind of idiot are you?
Dude,
I mean,
that guy
yeah.
had to be
Even
on,
if you did land a hit on one of them, the other guy also has a gun.
he's got to be on meth.
you would have been 1 for 1 KD though. You know? I'm just
Actually, you're
saying.
right.
You
You're
have
right.
to be pretty confident. I mean, you can kill a man with 1 hit to the head with a baseball bat, but you gotta have a lot of confidence.
You gotta get that wind up and you gotta hit him with just the tip.
The dumbest part is that he throws the baseball bat at them.
Oh, he didn't know what he was doing. Man.
No, dude,
He
Who
was
trained
not
this guy?
making educated decisions that day.
no. It was,
Fucking scrub lobby, am I right?
I mean,
Yeah.
the only reason the other two are fucking going to prison in the first place is because their reaction to Crazy Neighbor wasn't call the police and it was instead, let's go confront him at the tip of the
Yeah.
driveway with guns.
Yep.
yeah.
Like,
The son isn't going to jail.
That came up
because
that came up in Georgia a few years ago too, when they chased down that guy who was like looking at a house. And let's be honest, we know he wasn't there to like think about buying it. But he was out running, right?
Okay.
And there was this house being built, and there's camera footage. He like goes to the house and he looks around and he leaves, and they were like, "This guy's here to steal. Let's chase him down in our trucks and confront him." And he tries to run away, and they cut him off several times. And eventually, they cut him off and shoot him because he attacks these people who have been chasing him for like the past few minutes, as one does.
This is Trayvon Martin that we're talking about?
What? No.
No.
No. No.
But point being, the ruling in that case was you're not allowed to like chase someone down and shoot them and then say you're defending yourself.
Yeah, of course not. Like,
see, again,
there's castle doctrine, then there's your castle gets bigger because you have a truck.
That's called conquest.
Let's say for a minute that you're right, and that he was kind of casing the joint to see if there was anything he wanted to pick up and leave with. Police.
Yeah, your first alternative.
There's like a group of armed people on call right now.
Then they'll shoot him, and then they won't get in trouble.
To be honest, you're probably not wrong.
Yeah. Then they'll get paid.
Either way, it's not your fucking problem anymore.
Hey, there's this guy like casing my house. Do you mind coming out here and shooting him to death?
It was also like it was like a few months after the Rittenhouse case where they like made a similar ruling where like even if he was doing something wrong, you can't chase him and then say you're defending yourself.
Yeah, you can't chase him and hit him with a skateboard and then get big surprise you get shot because he has an AR.
It's like, let me just, the police gave me some new rules here, but I just wanted to ask you a question. I'm not sure how to phrase it anymore. Speaking of the suspect and, take this however you will, but if I were to compare him to a piece of well-done chicken breast or a piece of dark chocolate, which one would you say rings more true? Because this will affect the response time.
That reminds me so much of Blake going into the army, and then he told me that the funniest shit that happened while he was in basic was the fucking the drill instructor came out and he was like, all right, everybody line up. Uncle Sam tells me some of y'all might be faggots, and that's okay. I would love that dude.
Don't join the army, kids. Join the Air Force.
No, of course
join the
not.
Marine Corps.
Yeah, join the Marines.
That's even worse.
Join the Navy. They're more accepting of the gays over there.
with a mouthful of Crayola, go straight to the Marine Corps. There you go. That's where it's at, my friends.
They'll prepare you to be homeless as fuck when you get out.
Yeah.
And have rage problems and alcoholism.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah.
And lots of kids you can't afford the child support.
Well, that's any of the military branches, let's be honest.
Yeah, true.
No, not the Air Force.
The Army literally has,
talking to the front. The side doesn't pick it up.
The Army literally has, don't buy a Dodge Charger, don't marry a stripper, like...
Yeah, they do.
That's
been there for decades.
That's
too.
literally
That's
the thing
not
they do.
even
Like
new.
when you first arrive at your base, you go to this fucking seminar, and they're like, "Yeah, don't do these things."
I've spoken to people who joined in the 70s, and they say that that's not new.
Getting out of the military every time you get out of the military, you go back to your home state, you marry the first bitch that ever gave you a hand job in the back of a theater.
Or the first bitch that gives you a hand job when you get home.
The first woman to tell you that the chicken is in the pot.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, there it is. He's right.
Yeah.
That's the clincher.
I don't know.
That's how they get them.
That's not... I wonder what happened to my father where that scared the shit out of him. What happened to him in the military where she whispered that and he was immediately under the impression that
probably just PTSD, man.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, that'll do it. He actually went to war, so
I guess if you haven't listened to the episode where we talked about that, my mom and my dad went to the theater. My mom kissed my dad in the theater and then whispered the chicken is in the pot to my father in the ear, which I still to this day cannot I can't. I guess point being, he got in the floor and started loading a firearm behind all the seats, and it he has PTSD. Obviously, he was a Marine, but I still in my head okay, you're in a theater, right? You're in a dark theater, and you start making out with your man. I'm the only gay one here, so I'm gonna just say.
No, I'm following you. I make it one man.
Yeah, I forget. Yeah, okay.
Is he a handsome man?
No, he's got an effeminate penis though.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I can deal with this.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, it makes sense.
I'm on board now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can follow,
yeah.
I can follow this work.
You're making out with him, and then you whisper the chicken is in the pot. What are you trying to imply?
I guess that we fucking later. Like,
Yeah, does that mean like
that's the only thing I can
the
get from
pussy is open for business?
Yeah,
is that
right.
what that means?
that. That's a weird thing
would
to
assume
say.
that
It
but
is.
yeah.
It's a weird thing to say. I don't know what she was trying to imply. Was my mother just autistic?
Pregnant?
What?
It sounds like
It
she's saying
sounds
she's
like you're saying you're
pregnant.
Yeah,
pregnant.
it does.
Exactly.
It sounds like that too. Yeah.
Which is a movie theater's a weird fucking place to like whisper that into your.
Man, I don't know if you've ever
Husband's
encountered
ear.
someone who just has something on their fucking mind and they're going to share it with you specifically. You
Yeah,
a
I
perfect
feel like
stranger.
that's a conversation you have before or after you're in a movie theater, not
Exact-
in the
yeah.
movie
I'm
theater.
just saying there are
during the
people who
movie.
just dump their shit on you. Like,
My
Dude,
mom might
I
have been trying to
met-
get fucked in the movie theater.
I met someone once, met them that day, and they just went on about how they were a survivor of sexual assault, and I was just like,
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it's me.
I
That's
was
me,
like,
dude.
what?
That's me. That's me. You've met me.
I was like,
I,
I'm so sorry. I guess,
Yeah,
like
like-
I don't,
no,
I
like,
don't
you know,
I mean, maybe she deserved it. No.
Yeah, exactly.
no.
Did you see what she was wearing? She was 6, dude. She shouldn't be wearing that kind of shit when she's 6.
Clearly her
But,
fault.
uh,
Her
and
mom's
like
fault.
I get to these, people need help, but just like doing it to strangers, you're just gonna get the response Eric gave you. Best case, just I'm fucking sorry, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back about my day now.
Have you heard about therapy? There's this beautiful thing called therapy that you can do.
Not in
she
America,
also
bro.
brought her
Oh
3
my God,
kids
actually,
over to
you know
my,
what? You're right. Wait, what?
She also brought her 3 kids over to my house at the time.
How many of them were
Why
from
was this
sexual
woman in your
assault?
house?
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Why was this woman in your house?
Because my older brother was dating her briefly.
Oh, score.
And he was having
Was she the first one to give him a hand job when he came back from the Marines?
no.
What's the chicken in the pot?
This was like 3 wives later.
Oh God, Jesus.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, this was a pickup after a divorce, and
I'm
and he was
sorry.
wanting to get like all like involved and stuff, and I was just like, I think you're drunk.
He wanted the chicken to get in the pot. I understand.
Your brother needs to calm down. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to say this.
It's okay. We had a whole come to Jesus meeting about
Oh,
that
yeah,
not too
yeah.
long ago.
The he commented on like the podcast at one point, but his name had the name of a city that's near here. So I was like, what the fuck? Who is this? And I got on it. There's one video on the channel, and it's his brother doing firearm drills in Eric's living room by himself and filming himself, like loading and unloading a gun and then firing it really quickly. And I was like, who is this guy? Wait, is that Eric's living room? And I said to Eric, I was like, Eric, is this your brother doing firearm drills in your living room? And he was like, yep. Yeah, that's who that is.
That's the
You
one.
gotta be prepared, man.
Yeah.
Didn't know he had recorded that when he was living there at the time, but okay. Yep, that's him.
My dad and I talked about the tear gassing thing recently because we were going to buy a car. And I took my dad with me because my dad knows a lot about cars. So it's me, my wife, my dad, and my mom all in the car riding to this place. And it's like an hour away, so we got plenty of time to talk. And I've got a gun on me because I carry a gun with me most places. And then we're talking about why I'm carrying a gun. And Kira's just like, yeah, because he's paranoid because of who his dad is. She just says that
Damn.
flatly in the car. And my dad goes, I made you paranoid? And I was like, well, I mean, like, I was like, I go into a restaurant, I sit at the chair where I can see the entrance, I carry a gun on me, I'm ready to flip the table over at any moment. I know what to do in a snowstorm and how to survive in an avalanche. I don't know if I'd call me paranoid, but I'm definitely prepared. And I was like, I know what tear gas feels like. And then my mom goes, how do you know what tear gas feels like? And I was like, wait, did you never tell her about when you tear gassed me? and I look in the rearview mirror and my dad is like staring me like straight in the face like, don't do this. And I was like, oh, hell
like,
yes. Yeah.
I did not.
I was
I did
like,
not.
hell yes. Hell yes. We are doing this. We've got 50 more minutes in this car
Patrick.
ride. You tear gas. I was like 14. You don't tear gas your 14-year-old son. And if you do, I reserve the right at 32 to out you to my mother about doing so.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
That's fair.
Crazy.
So I was like,
that's enough things happening.
he was like, what do you mean? And no, my mom was like, what do you mean? I was like, yeah, we were out in his shed. He was like messing with a tear gas grenade, and then he popped the can and then said catch, and he threw it at me, and it sprayed all over me. And then I ran in the house and tried to wash my eyes out, and that just makes it worse. And then I was like, how do you guys not remember? How do you not remember this? His shed smelled like tear gas for like 2 weeks. I see my dad sitting there like calculating, trying to like recover this
Like,
situation.
ooh.
He's like, oh, what's my cover gonna be?
How
And
do
then he
I do
goes,
this?
oh, is that how you remember that? And I was like, oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. All right, spin it.
gaslight me.
I was like,
gaslight me.
I was like, spin it for
Gaslight
me. It was like, yeah, I did have a tear gas grenade, but I was messing with it, but I accidentally punctured it. And it sprayed through the whole thing, and we both got tear gassed. And I was like, yeah, that's totally what happened. I didn't push back on that at all. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, because I was like, I don't want to get him in too much
15
trouble.
years ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
Might even be how he remembers
In my
it.
mind, I was like, what are you doing with a tear gas grenade where you accidentally puncture it? Are you just
Yeah,
sitting
like,
there with a hammer and
I
a
was
nail
sitting
just
here
on
with
it?
this, leather hole punch, just like, poking this tear gas grenade.
Exactly.
Like, is a leather hole punch
Enough?
strong enough to punch through the outer the outer limits of a tear gas
Yes,
grenade?
Dad, that's how that happened. You were just practicing.
After 15 minutes of that, I see it wasn't working, so I started taking a hammer to the back of it.
He's just trying to find ways to open it.
You have to stress test your tear gas grenades.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
Of
don't want to
course.
you don't want to trip and fall and your tear gas grenade get punctured on a fucking pebble.
Can you buy
right.
You need to
those?
know the the limits here.
Can you buy those demo fragmentation grenades, where the blue ones, where like they still explode, but they don't there's not shrapnel?
I think you need a
can.
license.
You have to have a license.
I mean, you can buy a real grenade. You would just
Yeah.
have
Can
to
you?
fill out a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, dude.
Like the government's gonna want to know where you are
And what
you
you're
wanted
doing
it
with it. Yeah.
I just want
Yeah,
one.
you want
I
it
just
with it.
want one.
Yeah, I mean, Eric's right. You'd have to fill out a form, and the question, what are you going to do with this, would come up.
I'm gonna sew it onto my jacket and then have like a little cord so that when I go
I
see
think this man's
mo-
getting denied.
Yeah, you're probably gonna get denied.
I'm gonna go see like the mobsters of Gotham City, and I'm gonna pull the cord out and say no. That's gonna be that's what it's for.
Yeah, if you ran like a Mythbusters style like science YouTube channel, or like a gun tuber channel, or
I know
Like-
they also ask how you're going to store it. You have to have you have to meet certain
I can't just like
requirements.
put it on the
Yeah.
mantle.
no.
Damn,
Yeah, unlike
that would be
uh,
badass.
which is funny, 'cause
one grenade.
me and my wife were looking at the gun laws in different countries, and a lot of countries actually, just for normal guns, you can't even buy your first gun until you already own a gun safe.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh,
Like,
that makes sense.
and it's similar. Like,
Yeah.
you'll start running into laws like that if you start trying to buy grenades in the
Ah.
United States.
Yep.
Because
I
there's
do-
like, I want a $400, 4,000, or like something incredibly heavy with a super heavy duty lock on it, so we know that you are the only one who has this thing.
yeah. Did grenades have
Yeah.
serial numbers on them?
Can
Can
I
they
don't know.
Can they like?
parts of them do, I think.
Okay, so they could be like, yeah, this is your grenade, and you gave it to your friend, and then he sold it or whatever, and we found it on the other side of the
Well,
country.
to be fair, they don't really have to go that far. They could be like, oh, not a lot of people have grenades.
Yeah, so someone uses a grenade in a crime. There's like, okay, here's a 2,000-mile radius, and here's the 5 people who own M2 hand
Okay,
grenades.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
They're all getting contacted today.
For sure.
And they're going to need to show us their M2 hand grenades.
Do you guys remember
or
that?
else show us the footage of them destroying that M2 hand grenade
I
and the
don't
thing
know
they
if
bought
they're
it for.
I don't know if they're this thorough for grenades specifically, but I know at some point they literally start to come out once a year and like straight up take inventory of what you have.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of rules. Did I tell you the guy? You remember that house that I lived in that was kind of at the end of a road?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I tell you there was a guy that lived down the street from me who had a license for dynamite?
Huh.
And he would use dynamite once every 2 weeks.
Was he
or
a
something.
minor?
No, he had like a gully in his backyard, that was huge. And like, if he didn't blow the shit out of it every 2 weeks, then his house would flood. So he would like just.
How expensive is dynamite?
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, we're in redneck,
I've
like
only ever
poor
used
ass Mississippi.
tannerite before, but I didn't buy it, so I can't really say how much it cost, and I'm not even entirely sure if the person, how the person got it. So
you could hear that shit though. Like like he lived like a mile away from me, and it would wake me up, and I'd be like, "Well, it's dynamite day."
Yeah,
I envy that man.
I mean, you can be that guy.
I could be that guy.
You can be that
You
guy.
can. Legally,
It's
even.
probably a lot easier to get a dynamite license than a frag grenade. Thing, to be honest.
Is dynamite still as like shitty and like?
No.
Okay.
They've
It's
altered
safer.
the chemical formula so that modern dynamite is much more stable.
Mhm.
Okay, so it doesn't work like in Django Unchained.
No,
Okay,
but you
that's-
still shouldn't fuck with it. You know,
It's still an explosive.
Yeah.
I learned to juggle recently.
you shouldn't do that with dynamite.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. I was gonna say like, how cool would it be if I could juggle dynamite?
Yeah, no, I would still treat it with like a minimum of the same amount of respect you would treat a loaded firearm.
Well, you know why it becomes unstable, right?
No.
Okay, so like, I think it's nitroglycerins using
Correct.
dynamite.
Yes.
It becomes over time. It's basically starts to leak, quote unquote, for lack of a better term. And when it leaks, it comes into contact with the air, and like once you introduce a I don't even know the proper word for it, but basically once you fuck with it enough,
Okay. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
We're
it
on levels I can
expands-
understand now.
it expands
become
rapidly, which is
destabilized.
causes an explosion.
Yeah, that's what the explosion is, the incredibly quick expansion. That's why nitroglycerin is just dynamite is just incredibly compact organic material like paper or wood or something like that.
That doesn't like air.
Yeah, something that's what's the word? Something phobic. What's the pneumophobic? I can't remember the word.
Xenophobic is the word you're looking for. I think.
No. That's you and your parents. But,
no, that's the
no.
Israel. But yeah. Okay.
But I was thinking of like hydrophobic, but with air.
Aerophobic?
No, that's not right. But anyway,
No,
the
keep
point
going on
is,
this, dude. This is a good part of the podcast. I like you just sitting there trying to think of which word
Yeah.
is which.
It's highly compacted
It's
material.
up there with me trying to remember.
The point is that, like,
an angry parade.
Basically,
That's roughly
dynamite.
why dynamite becomes unstable.
Dynamite. Yeah.
What's the angry parade version of like of what you're trying to say?
Oh, that's just like Coke cans filled with tannerite being
Okay.
thrown into a crowd, I guess. is
Hell
what
yeah,
that would be.
dude.
And then
Do you know nitroglycerin is what you take when you have a heart attack?
Yes.
Yeah. Why did we take the stuff that's in dynamite and then eat it?
Sir,
when we're having a
I'm
heart
sure
attack?
that we put nitroglycerin in our mouths long before we made it into an explosive.
He's right, you know.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah. That makes a lot more sense, actually.
I'm pretty sure the first thing we discover about most new things is what they taste like.
And also, to be fair, like explosives aren't necessarily new. Like we've understood that there are certain materials that if you apply fire to, they will explode.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a very long time.
We just haven't, been refining them ourselves until
Yeah.
famously a couple thousand years ago in China.
Okay,
They were the
yeah.
first ones to really put the science to it.
And
Dude,
like,
imagine
and to be
living-
fair, like gunpowder originally they were trying to like figure out immortality too.
Yeah,
right?
that wasn't even
Yeah.
the fucking point. They were just like, again, if I eat this, will it make me live forever? No, turns out it does explode though. So yeah, even the
yeah,
story
hell
of the story of gunpowder.
That's the
is
most-
idiots trying to eat it to live forever.
Is China
So-
China 1,000 years ago just Mississippi? Because that sounds exactly like
Every-
some.
Yeah, if
Every
I eat
civilization
this,
on-
will I live forever? We're about to find
We're
out.
about to
boy.
find out. Woo! It's like that Human Giant sketch where it's like, "Don't drink gasoline; it'll kill you." Yeah, that's what she always says.
Most human civilizations 1,000 years ago are probably comparable to modern day Mississippi. Generally speaking.
I don't know that.
You know,
What would it have been like to live in
the quality
China
of life
1,000
is
years
definitely
ago?
similar.
It probably fucking sucked. We
think
didn't live
so?
anywhere 1,000 years ago, man.
Yeah, I would. It's I feel like you might have even been the one who said this several podcasts ago, but it's like no matter how depressing it is, you're actually always living in the best time.
Oh yeah, smallpox doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I mean,
you know?
like, consider this. 1,000 years ago, there were probably people who still were getting paid in salt.
Consider this:
Mm.
penicillin's less than 100.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
And nowadays, like salt's like something you buy at the store and don't even think about. But 1,000 years ago, that was pretty fucking valuable.
What's the deal with salt? You like get it from the ocean or something?
Yeah, if you lived far enough inland, you had to pay out the ass for salt or figure out a better way to preserve food,
Okay.
which there wasn't one. So really, you just died.
I was gonna ask, like, what did landlocked countries do?
buy
Suffer.
their salt from.
Suffer.
Yeah, suffer
Yeah.
is one thing they did, and then they
Yeah.
would buy salt from other people. 'Cause
What did,
that's
like,
all you can do?
That I don't know why, but that immediately my brain like tangentially connected that to the Black Death because that happened in like mainland, like landlocked Europe. What
Well-
would you guys have done during the Black Plague?
Probably
Roll over and
died.
die.
You think you
Yeah.
would have died?
I mean, that's what most people did. So
Yeah, I don't know.
What was
Eat
it?
a fucking-
50%?
no
eat
one
a-
really had
It
like.
was more than 50.
Yeah, it was bad, man. Like, I don't know exactly. I forget the percentage-wise numbers, but like, yeah, if you were around during Black Death, your options are get it or don't get it, and if you get it, your options are die.
And you're probably getting it because it was spread by like ticks and rats who were carrying it, who had gotten it from
Why the
ticks.
fuck am I around ticks
Actually,
and rats?
funny thing is,
Because
it
during the
was
time of the Black Plague, like it was a fucking dirty place.
come to
God
find
damn,
out, the ticks and the rats with the fleas and stuff on them
Fleas, it was. Yeah.
are really just like the initial vector. But even that's kind of debatable because it was also done on purpose.
Wait, what?
Mongols,
What do you mean was-
Yeah,
and the
they would
like
shoot like
were
plague-ridden
shooting plague-ridden
animals.
like corpses into besieged towns,
Yep.
and then fucking off because the plague was fucking with them, and they were just like, "Yeah, well, this town's a disease pit now, so fuck it." And then those people left and like went, oddly enough, by the shore. They sailed like from this area down to like Greece and like Italy, and then it spread all the way up through Europe. And the funny thing is, yes, the mice were definitely a part of it, but we were the ones
Yeah.
getting the fleas on us and then going to mama's dinner.
What were? Wait, so are
It
you
was
implying?
COVID.
Yeah,
No.
are you implying that like they put diseased bodies in a catapult and then just shot it over the walls?
I'm not implying that's exactly
Yeah,
what they
like,
did.
Okay,
like, that's-
all right.
110%.
Okay,
They
That's
did
been
that
proven.
before the Black
Well,
Death.
it's not
What
been
the
proven.
fuck-
It's
who
been
the
stated.
fuck was
Black
the-
just was
documents.
the best seasoning to put on those
who
bodies.
the fuck was the guy? How shitty was his life where he was the guy who got to load the diseased bodies?
So
into the
here's something
catapult?
that's like it's kind of similar to how if you don't have a lot of leisure activities around you, you kind of just come up with creative ways to do things.
Yeah.
Like anybody
I'm
could
sorry.
do this.
Are you calling
Yeah.
shooting bodies out of a catapult like a leisure activity?
No, but I'm saying that he doesn't have anything else to occupy his mind, so he's just gonna come up with creative ways to fucking kill people so he can get some money and maybe make his life less shitty.
Man,
Yeah.
video games don't cause violence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a
Having video games, I promise you, makes people less violent,
Yeah,
no matter
yeah.
how violent the video game
Look,
is.
man, like I'm gonna be honest, if I didn't have video games, I'd probably just raid Patrick like 10 years ago. to
Oh
be
yeah,
honest.
absolutely, dude.
Yeah, the ability to like play video games.
Just chucked a plague raccoon straight through his window.
Hell
I
yeah, dude.
promise you, having distractions like video games keeps us from raping and murdering each other more efficiently than many other things in the past.
I was reading about how like for some reason like the I wasn't reading about it, I was watching something, but some people like compare Genghis Khan to Hitler because of like how many people he killed. But the idea is that like for some reason all over the internet right now there's misinformation about how many people Genghis Khan got to kill.
Oh, also, it's impossible to tell exactly because
Yes,
it
it
was
is.
a long time ago.
One, it's
and
impossible
he was
to tell.
Not keeping a tally.
No, but two, like it's absurd to think that he killed 6 million people, or like that he killed any amount of people that would
Well,
have
and
qualified
don't
for like
have-
World War II.
In some cases, he was actively getting rid of the information if these people were ever alive. So
Yeah, it's so difficult to fucking say. And I mean, I don't know what a reasonable number to put would be or not.
I don't know.
Clearly, he didn't personally drive a dagger into all these people. So,
Neither
at
did
what,
Hitler, to be
how many people down the line do we attribute specifically to Genghis Khan, and how much is just Mongols?
How much would it have ruled to be Genghis Khan, though?
It's still like he's
most
still
of
at
the known
roots.
world. It would have ruled most of the known world.
Yeah, he's right. That is how much it ruled to be Genghis Khan.
God damn.
As much as anyone else has ever ruled. I think is the answer to that question.
Did he retire and just not do shit for a while?
I think he just died of old age.
Yeah, I think he won. He just won.
Dude. Oh,
he won. He's got the high score.
how many times do I have to reincarnate in
pretty
India
much.
to become Genghis Khan?
There's only been the one, so
Where's that on the caste system?
I'm
Is
gonna
that
be real.
8
If
billion?
reincarnation's thing, I really hope you can't go backwards through time.
Oh, dude, I think about that all the time.
Oh,
I really
God.
do.
Yeah, I don't think that would ever work that way.
Have you ever read that story, The Egg? It's a
Yeah.
short story on the
Yeah, The
internet
Egg.
where it's like a guy dies in a car accident and then he talks to God and then God talks to him about you are the singular being that is all people. You die and then you become one of the other people that ever existed. And next time you're going to be like a girl who dies at 13 from the plague in India. And then you'll die again and then you'll become somebody else.
So by the end of my quote-unquote life, I'll have eventually just been every human being that ever existed.
Yeah, and then you become God. And then
in the Egg story, he's like a maturing God. Basically, is how the guy explains it to him. He's like, you have to go through all these lives so that you
have the context. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, that's interesting because it's just like, okay,
Yeah, but it
I'll
sucks.
eventually be you, God. So what? Like Jesus was.
The good news is that means one day you will be Genghis Khan.
Oh my God, you're right. Actually,
So
okay,
question,
I'm back
does
on.
That mean, does that mean that Jesus Christ was my first shot, or that Jesus Christ will be my last shot?
Jesus
Christ
was
is that the
your
first one.
He was your high score.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Oh, so that's in the middle.
Yeah.
The part where I am literally already God happens in the middle.
It's it's kind of like reincarnating as a bull or or as a cow in India. It's up there. It's approximately.
Well, to be
that.
fair, there have been many people throughout history who have claimed to be God.
Yeah, it's true. There's still a few around today.
Yeah, but that's depressing, Noah. That's
How many people are there in Mexico that take advantage of people with
Why would I
culty
know
shit?
that, man? I live in Mississippi.
I know you do. I do too. But that came to my mind.
But brown.
But you're
You're right.
But
Do I tap?
hey, fuck y'all, man.
Do I tap into a fucking Mexican hive mind here?
Shut up! I'll call you a fucking slur next if you don't shut your goddamn mouth. Maybe what do you want me to look at Eric when I say that?
Who does he
Fine,
tap
next time.
into? Does he tap into fucking Nordic time?
I don't know. I'm just saying next time, maybe if I fucking bring up Mexico, I'll look at Eric so your ass doesn't get offended.
Yeah, let me
All
look
I
at
did
Eric.
was
be like,
look at
let me
you.
look at Eric. I bet he could build a fucking bitch and long ship,
Yeah,
right?
you look at me and you're like, so what do faggots do on Saturdays?
What do they do on Saturdays?
Damn.
I was thinking Mexico's the closest thing to us that's super religious, right? They're wildly religious.
No, the
down
closest
there.
thing to
They're
you that's
wildly
super religious
Roman
is where you are.
Oh,
You are in
yeah.
the Bible Belt, man.
Yeah. No, you think Mexico's worse or better than Mississippi as far as religious sanctity?
I'd say they're about the same.
You think so?
Yes, because you can see the effects that religion has in our politics. Like when people were dropping dead left and right of COVID, fucking Tater Tot came out and it was just like, I've done something all of us can enjoy. I have banned trans athletes from competing in high school sports.
Yes!
That is like,
Yeah!
We did it.
that's the kind of thing that happens. And so yeah, Mississippi is just as bad. I don't
Yeah.
know why you're asking you're fucking from a place where religion doesn't affect you.
No,
This is a point I've made several times on the podcast is, because the United States loves to talk shit about the living conditions in Mexico or Jamaica and stuff. And the whole time I was looking around there, I was like, this all looks really normal to me.
Yeah, it's because you're from Mississippi. Yeah, you're not
oh,
from D.C.
I'm starting to get it.
Yeah.
Oh.
The revolution is coming, comrade.
It's like all these people look like normal people to me. They're doing normal everyday things that, I'm poor.
Oh.
Crazy how that works.
It's weird. You've thought of them as different people because you're not brown your whole life, but really it's more about how much money you have
no,
and
I'm
the
from
class you live in.
Mississippi. A good third of them are brown here. That's
Hell, not even a third. Damn
Mississippi
near-
has the highest, one of the highest black populations in the
Yeah,
US.
it's 46% last I looked.
It is not 46%.
It was last I looked.
I thought it was in its 30s.
No, it's just that where we are, there's specifically
okay.
in northeast Mississippi, it's lower. But if you go anywhere else,
Oh, yeah,
The
and the
Delta.
Delta. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
because the Delta really makes up for that shit. The Delta votes blew every fucking every cycle.
I mean, as they fucking should. Red isn't helping them any.
Yeah, goddamn right.
Yeah,
Have you
it's-
seen the Delta?
Red hasn't really been super good for them since the 1860s.
Well, they
but-
did ban trans athletes, so I don't know. They're
Big
doing
win
something.
for the
Those
Delta.
Republicans, they were really big fans of. But
Did you? I went to a thing where I saw the governor speak, and then Brandon Presley, the guy who was running against him, and Brandon Presley got up and talked shit on Tater Tot and said that he bought like a $10,000 popcorn machine for his office.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn, that is some like Republican ass shit to buy a $10,000 popcorn machine.
I remember when he said that he like had he took funds that were meant for public road infrastructure and used it to build a private road to like his house or some shit.
Hell yeah.
$10,000 for a popcorn machine. You know,
Brett Favre will cover it.
I paid $2,000 total for my car.
Yeah. I paid exactly $10,000 for the last car I bought.
Have you seen car prices recently?
Yeah, it's
So
insane.
you could buy 5 of my shitty old car, or one nice
popcorn machine.
like modern car, or a popcorn
Or a
machine.
popcorn machine.
Yeah, dude.
Or
Which
like-
one do you
which-
want? I mean, the choice is yours. Obviously, the popcorn
I'll
machine,
take the
right?
cheap car and $8,000, or the nice car.
The only reason I was able to
And then I'll buy
buy
microwave popcorn for $1 at Dollar Tree.
the only reason I was able to even buy a car recently is because like I paid in cash and my parents helped me. Like that's the only reason I was able to buy a car. Car
Yeah,
prices are insane.
Well, I mean, I've heard people also aren't buying houses at the moment just because housing prices are too high.
Yeah, people don't want to have kids buy houses or make large investments. It's like no one has any fucking money or something.
Crazy
Yeah.
how that works.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I wonder if there's a relation to people buying
could have
less
possibly
and
seen
not
this
having the
happen?
ability to buy things.
You know how much I paid for this house? Like, cause I bought this house right before the housing.
Blow
crisis.
job and 3 chickens.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It was 2 blowjobs, all right.
Yeah.
One for the opening like negotiations, and then you had to close with the second blowjob. You know?
Well, it was a mule in 6 acres. So
40 acres. And a
was it
mule.
40 acres? I'm sorry, I couldn't remember.
I can
the
never
amount.
remember exactly
hots
what
and
it
a
was.
cot.
It was 420.
I'm 100% sure that they got something a lot closer to 3 hots and a cot than they ever did 40 acres
No,
and
that's
a mule.
the that's the modern version of 3 acres and a mule.
Yeah,
It's 3
yeah.
hots and a cot.
Oh, the promises our society makes to black people.
we were
I
talking
mean,
about this in
to
the
be
car.
fair, like literally when they started to take off, we literally bombed them. Like in Atlanta, there was the so-called Black Wall Street or whatever. And no, in Georgia, not Atlanta specifically. I think it was in Georgia, but basically there was this. I don't think it even was a city. I think it was just like a neighborhood where like black businesses were prospering, and we literally bombed them.
With what?
Here I'll look it up.
Like IEDs?
No, it was older than that. It was like the 1900s.
Okay, because in my head, you say you're bombing somebody, I think carpet bombing. And I'm like, hell yeah,
I
carpet
think they may
bombing
have
Georgia.
literally dropped, like,
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's more like cavalrymen coming through and like throwing bombs through windows into businesses.
Okay.
Okay.
The Tulsa Race Massacre is what it was called.
Oh, isn't that the one that they covered in the Watchmen TV series?
It was in the Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Burned and destroyed more than 35 square blocks of the neighborhood.
Was it like the KKK? Because that sounds
It-
like some KKK shit.
It was just like angry white people.
angry white people.
Mm-hmm.
So basically the KKK.
Non-KKK affiliated KKK members.
Yeah, exactly.
Kinda, yeah.
Mhm.
Like you, Eric. My favorite thing on this podcast is just ruining your reputation one sentence at a time. It's okay. You work with animals. It doesn't matter. I mean, you call them animals. I call them.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just saying. It's fine. I understand where you're coming from. I'm a understanding individual. I understand other people's cultures and the way that they view the world. My point being was though, like, do you think there's more cults in Mexico than in Mississippi?
More cults?
Yeah, because like I feel like Mexico's more Catholic.
Oh, here it is.
Catholic always leads.
Numerous eyewitnesses described airplanes carrying white assailants who fired rifles and dropped firebombs on buildings, homes, and fleeing families.
God damn.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, it was literally bombed.
Yeah,
Hell
never
yeah.
mind.
Okay.
It was redneck bombed, but they did in fact use planes and dropped
It was
bombs.
crop dusted, so to speak.
Yeah, like they were probably in their crop dusters, but they did drop fire bombs, so that counts. That's fucked.
That's
But,
kind of like
as far as cults, I mean, Mexico's just bigger than Mississippi. It's not
Yeah,
really
it's
like
true.
comparable.
Yeah,
Oh, you're right. I didn't think about that. I'm retarded.
I would say that they
I
more
don't know. I didn't even
specifically-
consider like, oh, yeah, you know what? There would be more because it's a bigger place. That
Like
didn't even cross my mind.
the Christian population in Mississippi is more diverse than it is in
Yeah.
Mexico. And like, because Mexico's like 95% like Roman Catholic, right? Like generally
You
speaking.
guys keep asking me these things like I would know.
I don't know. Is your family Roman Catholic?
I think
Call
they were
them a
Pentecostal.
slur next,
Do
Eric.
what?
I think they were Pentecostal.
Oh, okay.
They handle
Makes
snakes.
sense.
Were they the snake handling kind of Pentecostals?
I never saw them handle any snakes.
Damn. All right. so
Well,
the gay kind of Pentecostal.
Again, as though this is
Snake
somehow
handling.
related, his family.
I don't
doesn't
know. I'm
live
here.
in
I don't think they were
Mexico.
gay either.
I'm just saying, dude.
So, them not being Roman Catholic, which is the primary religion.
Ask him what
Mexico
Mexicans
also
do
makes
on
it-
Saturdays.
Fuck, that might have even been why they wanted to leave outside of economic issues. Just like, fuck
Work,
all this
probably.
Catholic shit. Let's go be
Work,
Protestants.
work, yeah, honestly.
What? Mexicans traveling across the border for work. Know what? Now you're just speaking absolute retardation.
Yeah,
like
it's
this.
true.
Oh, that is an actual thing.
Talk
like,
about a
if you-
thing that happens in America for real, Noah.
Yeah, a real thing.
Jeez.
If you live along the border, one of the things you'll see is both Mexicans getting up and crossing into America to work legally.
Yeah.
They have passports and they'll cross over and they'll work like selling food or whatever.
Mhm.
Make American dollars, go cross back over into Mexico and have like a shitload of money, basically.
Yeah.
In my head, I don't
And
know
likewise,
why.
you'll see Americans at the end of the workday cross into Mexico, do their grocery shopping or
Yeah.
medicine, whatever, and then cross back in America and still have a lot of money.
In
Yeah.
my head, I don't know why, but like, because all I can remember about Mexico and like is just when I was there, right? Like I don't know what Mexico's like these days, but you were like, yeah, a Mexican guy gets up in the morning, he goes, crosses the border, and he works, and then he comes home. And in my head, I'm just thinking of the dude that worked in front of our apartment that had like a mule and like a wagon full of like apples, and he's just going across
Kinda,
the border every
yeah,
day. He's just
to be
selling
honest
his
with you.
apples.
I
Like,
guess.
you will see like people. I don't know if they have like mules necessarily. I've seen like a few donkeys.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a mule or a fucking donkey. I don't know the difference. What's the difference between a mule and a fucking donkey?
Mules are bigger.
Yeah.
Mules are bigger.
Also, you grew up in rural Mississippi. How do you not know the difference?
Because I worked on a fucking farm, but we didn't have a fucking mule. We had a horse.
you guys sucked.
It's
Yeah, I
okay,
mean-
see a donkey, see a horse. If it looks like it's kind of right in between, that's your that's your
Oh,
go-to.
okay. Yeah.
I think mules are bigger as well. Like donkeys are smaller. I think.
That's why I said in between a horse and a
Yeah.
donkey, because it's a half donkey, half horse.
Yeah.
Nah. I
So-
mean, like
Mules are also mean as fuck. You'll know the difference then.
this says
Yeah,
this says,
stubborn as a
like,
mule. I mean,
this says like a lot about my like how my brain chemistry works. But I immediately was like, I wonder if their dicks are as big as the horse or as small as the donkeys.
I believe donkeys, horses, and mules all have comparatively large penises.
Well, that's just the
generally
most
speaking.
boring answer that you could have given me.
They all have fat, juicy cocks.
Okay, yeah, all right.
There we go.
There we go. You're bringing it back for me.
There
Thank
we
you.
go.
Thank you. That's what I needed to hear. Have you ever
Patrick
seen?
just needs a fat, juicy cock every now and again.
Yeah,
He's
give me
happy.
one of those like every 15 minutes. That'll keep me going. Have you ever seen a fucking donkey show or whatever?
Have
on
I
eFucked?
actually seen a
No,
donkey
like
show?
they're on the internet. Like, did you ever use
No.
eFucked when you were a kid?
No, I've never seen a donkey and a human get together. I feel like I've probably seen a dog and a human get together. When
I've
I
seen a
was
dog and a
scrolling
human
across
like hundreds of times.
those
It's a cursed
websites.
fucking conversation.
Fuck you,
And I was just like,
you, what are you
ah.
talking about, man?
I was like, yeah.
How did you not? You didn't get on like eFucked or any of that shit when you were a kid?
I've never heard of that website.
It was just like fucked up porn stuff, basically.
This is why I probably never heard of that website.
Rotten.com,
Yeah, I
Normal
did.
motherfucker, man.
Lemon
Yeah.
Party.
No.
Lemon Party's not that fucked up.
I mean, yeah, but
It's just a bunch of old men fucking and sucking each other.
that's
I mean,
that really.
it's not something I put on my screen.
All
and
right,
show
but if
my
I told
family,
you that
but
they were all U.S. senators,
Okay.
that's still more of an issue for them than it is me.
you're like,
I
oh,
mean,
well, actually, it starts to make a lot
to
more
me,
sense.
it's still just a bunch of old men fucking and sucking each other. If they happen to be important or not is irrelevant.
Oh, speaking of U.S. senators, you see
No.
that there was some lady she was a congresswoman who's been missing for 3 months, and then yesterday they found out that she's been in a retirement home with like dementia, and like people
Feel
have
like-
still been on her payroll and getting paid, and she hasn't shown up and voted on anything.
Crazy how power of attorney works.
Yeah, for real. Somebody down there was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna like ride this out
Crazy
and get
what our
paid."
fucking standards are for our goddamn leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're-
dude, Trump's gonna get on television and be like, "It was horrible. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. It's a real shame to be an American these days, folks."
I can't tell if he's Trump or Robin Williams.
I don't know. I
I
need
can't
most
do
of our
Robin Williams.
politicians
That's how you know.
to change their diapers and for us to put fucking age limits on this shit.
Yeah. I mean, it is really like a commercial.
What does
Advertisement?
someone 80 or above like convince me that they're not out of touch?
I'm gonna put you in.
Convince me that anyone in their 80s isn't out of touch with like the struggles of the normal man.
I'm gonna put you in Congress, Eric. You should run for Congress. We'll be your fucking. We'll be your. Noah can be your running mate.
I'll
Wait,
put you into a nursing home. And,
Yeah, we'll wait until
we'll
you get
make
old,
bank.
then we'll put you into a nursing home, and then just up
you know,
our
I'm pretty sure
salaries.
Eric is the youngest person in this room, but
I don't know. I think I
think
am.
he's. Is it?
Yeah.
How old-
Excuse you.
How
I
old
think
are you,
Eric
man?
might be older than you.
How old are you, Noah?
35.
And when do you turn 36? I'm older than you.
No shit.
Damn.
I will turn 36 on.
Old man.
You couldn't tell by his fucking receding hairline. I'm
What
just
the fuck?
I have the most glorious hair.
That's so fucking mean.
I have the most glorious hair on this podcast, and you are jealous, clearly.
What the fuck, Patrick?
It's just funny because he doesn't have one. His hair's looked exactly like
I
that
know,
since
but
he
it
was
was,
like
just, it was
16.
just so that I was like, God damn.
The funny thing is, it also absolutely will be.
You think so?
Well, both of my grandfathers are balding, so yeah.
Really?
There's
My
no
dad's
escape.
balding, but like my dad was bald by my age, so I don't think I'm gonna have it.
No, I think it'll start just like kind of retreating on me as soon as I hit the big 4-0, I'd
Oh
say.
yeah, I'm getting gray hair already.
I've got a few gray
I'm just
hairs in
breaking
my
down,
beard.
man. I'm just breaking down like an old engine.
Yeah,
Just falling apart piece by piece.
like as an Indian or as in like the engine in a car.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I definitely
We're talking
do.
woo woo or dot. That's the real question.
I understand those old memes a little bit better, where it's just like, you know, in my 20s, you know, drink a half gallon of liquor, you know, get in a car accident, have sex later that night, you know, and then like now it's like I'm only 35, but it's just like sneeze weird, take off work for a week.
Yeah, right.
You know, like
Sneeze weird, lay down on the floor, fucking like trying to die.
I feel like I've just lost 3 vertebrae. Like, what the hell just happened?
Me and Noah were literally texting each other about this last night because I've got TMJ and like the doctor's like, yeah, you sang in rock bands, you were in choir, you do a podcast, you talk constantly, like you're gonna like fuck up your jaw, like you're getting older, and it's just what's going to happen to you. And then Noah was like, yeah, getting older fucking sucks. Sometimes you just sleep wrong and then you're fucking, and then you're just
Yeah.
dying the next day.
Yeah, no, my arm, like my forearm, from my right elbow down to like my wrist, just hurt.
Yeah.
Like it had been like sprained or pulled or something. It just hurt like that for months. No reason.
Yeah.
There was no start to it that I could ever identify. There was no clear end to it. It hurt for a couple
That's
months.
that's my right elbow right now.
Yeah. It just happens.
Yeah, guess why his right elbow is doing that though? It has to do with, it has to do with
Masturbation? is that what you're trying to go for here?
I didn't know what he was going for either, to be honest with
Cranking
you.
it too much? Like what?
I don't know. That might be his wrist, depending on how much action he gives
Is he
it.
secretly a serial killer?
I was
and he's
gonna
been
say-
I
stabbing
wanted to
people all
see
day
if
or
you
I
would
was gonna say, if it's
say-
elbow, that's beyond well endowed. You're like,
Yeah, he's got like a
Tennis.
donkey mule horse dick.
tennis. It's all that tennis Noah's
Yes,
been playing
exactly.
that he never told me about. Not
when
that I
I-
ever asked him what kind of recreational sports he likes.
when
but-
I read into it, they were like, yeah, if you like lift weights, box, like basically anything that engages that motion, whatever. Like
so if you
that'll
use
do
your
it.
elbow, you
Yeah.
might hurt your elbow.
crazy how that works.
I mean, yeah.
It just doesn't happen to you when you're young, though. Is what I'm getting at. Like,
No.
yeah.
like,
it
when
all
you're-
wears out so easy now.
When people say that like young kids feel like they're immortal, like I never felt like I was immortal, but now I definitely feel like I'm dying.
I am a great elder lich.
Yeah, exactly. I understand the appeal of trying to live forever now.
This is why
Like,
people like between their 20s and now turn to drugs and alcohol.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because like your body just can't take life anymore the same way it did. So you want the superpowers you used to have.
yes.
You know, and
So
you want to just be able to
cocaine and heroin.
essentially,
And
yeah,
you feel 20 again.
you want to be able to feel that way again and like to be able to maintain it. You know, so you take the energy drugs, you take
drink
the
a Red
pain
Bull.
drugs, you know, you take the forget how to feel feelings drugs, you know.
Yeah. Alcohol.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I should say this is the first podcast we've done where I'm sober.
Oh.
I'm completely
Congrats.
sober. Really
no
sober.
kratom, no nothing.
No kratom, no
Yeah.
nothing. I am completely sober for like what day is it? Sunday?
Yeah.
So since not the Tuesday of this week, but last Tuesday.
Oh.
So I'm like 2 weeks sober, and I hate it.
Mm.
It sucks. It fucking blows. I don't know.
I've been trying to go.
I'm not
for
gonna
more of
last
a-
long. Is all I'm saying. This isn't gonna be a thing that stays.
I've been going for more of a California sober thing at home, where
So-
I let myself drink, but I'm just not to get drunk.
California sober just means you don't do cocaine, right?
No, it means you're high on pot all day.
Okay.
I thought that's what that meant. Is
So like
that,
my dad.
you don't do other drugs, but you are smoking weed all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like Noah.
I'm actually I've only ever seen Noah drink like hard liquor. I don't think I've ever
I
really
highly
discussed
doubt
doing
Noah-
other drugs with
I
him.
highly doubt Noah drinks hard liquor anymore. I can't drink hard liquor anymore, and he's like a fucking ancient, decrepit fucking
I mean, I
piece
feel
of
like
shit.
less
I am
than
a
half
great
a year
elder
ago.
lich.
Less than half a year ago, I feel like I saw him drink Fireball, but that's about. I think that's the only drug I've seen him take.
I've gotten to the point to
I
where
drink
like
rum mostly these days.
Yeah, so hard liquor. Yeah,
I can't drink rum, dude.
Really?
I drink rum and then I'll be like in the floor with heartburn.
Now you more like straight rum, like white or brown, or like spiced rum.
Spiced rum.
Yeah, that's fair. I know a lot of people are crazy about the white rum, and I really don't get it. It's fine, but like I don't see why someone would like fall in love with it.
I don't.
I mean, you
What
get
is that? Like, what's a popular white rum brand?
It's-
Bacardi.
Yeah,
Bacardi?
I mean Bacardi Silver. Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's like, so basically it tastes like rum. They didn't barrel age it. They didn't put any flavorings in it. It's basically rum but vodka.
Because of your wife, I can only see Bacardi as like a white girl drink.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
I mean, it is.
Mm.
All of the clear liquors are white girl.
It's more of a
drinks.
Tremont drink, though.
It's also a cheap drink, though.
They,
the clear
uh,
liquors are cheaper because they're less processed.
They're really into white rum down in Tremont. I've noticed that.
Yeah, it's always like it's only the silver tequila, the white rum,
White rum, yeah. That's light beer. It's
they only drink whole milk, and if you ever put chocolate syrup in it, they like slap it out of your hands.
I've
It's
seen
weird.
it. I've seen it happen. I've seen it
Mhm.
happen.
They get
You ever
really
been to Tremont, Noah?
No.
No. The Grand Wizard recently died there.
Yeah, I can see why you might not.
Good?
Go to
Yeah, I
Tremont.
was gonna say I can see why you might not. My doctor is from Tremont.
Is he a grand wizard?
It's a she. Thank you very much.
she
You
a Grand Wizard?
Did you just assume my doctor's pronouns, dude? Did you
No.
assume their gender? Because
No.
because they're a doctor, it has to be a man.
No.
Okay. All right.
I don't understand getting flustered by these questions because you can just answer directly.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
no.
No, that rules. Just do that more often.
You're getting more flustered asking me these questions than I ever was. About this.
It's like the best. That's the best version of like improv, where you just say no all the time. It's not yes and, it's no and. It's just no and then nothing.
No.
She said that like the reason that the KKK like in Tremont is like a big thing is because they're a religious group, and as a religious group, they can do whatever they want for freedom of religion. So they just do drugs,
Huh.
and that's the reason the KKK is big down there.
I know when they first started, the KKK were basically a bunch of
Democrats.
bored Civil War veterans that got drunk together and decided they wanted to scare their neighbors. That's literally how it started.
Well, they weren't Republicans. That's all I can say.
Well, no, they were Democrats. You're right. Yeah, because of the Southern strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole dynamic got flipped on its head over the last.
That's my least favorite talking point is whenever you bring up the KKK, somebody goes, "Yeah, well, they were started by the Democrats." And they still
very disingenuous.
I mean, yeah, but you can look at that person and say, yeah, but you're still a racist piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, look, just because the people who freed the slaves party-wise are the people who would be the first to put them back into slavery today doesn't mean...
You can, going back to the fucking assuming my doctor's general thing, you could just deadpan at people, and most of the time they don't have a response to that.
No, of course not, because that's not how comedy works. No. You can't, like...
I don't know, it works for him.
Yeah, no, it does. It does.
I feel like I do well.
It's funny as like a meta joke of you just shoot somebody down immediately. Just
he's got the
actually, no.
He also has the distinct advantage of only being here like once every 20 plus episodes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He doesn't have to hear the racist ramblings out of our mouths.
Yeah, he can just come in fresh every single time. Like,
God, I hate being in Mississippi. Why can't we leave Mississippi, Eric?
Because we make Mississippi money.
Yeah.
As he said, the one word answer there. Say that again.
Where are you gonna?
Yeah, that's it.
Where would you guys go? You said
if I could go anywhere?
Texas, right?
I mean,
Does it have to be in the U.S.?
Yeah, other state.
I mean, I guess Alabama, because it's exactly the same as what I'm doing right now, except the government controls the alcohol.
Really?
Yeah, the ABC's ridiculous over there.
Okay.
Probably somewhere where it's cooler. I don't know.
I guess I could go with like Minnesota or something like that.
Oh, dude, we could go hang out with the Quest 64 guy, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Go hang out with him up there. That place is apparently cold as shit right now.
I would definitely want to go more like middle north than all the way west or east north, because those guys are a little too liberal.
What, like North Dakota?
I don't know. I'll go.
That's fine.
I'll go somewhere liberal and just deadpan at people.
I mean, yeah. I just don't want to, like, I've just got
What does that mean? They're like, I'm actually trans. You go, no, you're not. What does that mean?
It means if someone, tries to fucking white knight at me or whatever the fuck that was earlier, I'd just be like, did you just assume my dog chin? I was like, no.
No, actually, no, I didn't.
I did not.
No. I don't know.
I don't give a fuck if someone's trans, man.
Is white knights what they call themselves in the KKK?
Yeah, all this.
That would be ironic. They're white knighting out in the forest. White knighting.
I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. Gender politics is like 10% people trying to find their proper place in this world and be respected for it, and 90% is obfuscation so that we don't think about the fact that people are starving to death.
Oh yeah, that people are poor.
Like that. Yeah, it's like, this is not important at all.
Yeah.
It really depends on who you ask,
Okay, I'll tell you this.
If you ask Tater Tot Reeves, it's the biggest fucking thing in the world.
I'll pick up a 357 Magnum and I'll ask people in the face with that Magnum over and over and over again. And then you can decide whether or not there are more important issues. Because every time I'll be like, "Here she!"
You've got them like,
and if they don't
up.
answer, I shoot.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've got them blindfolded and tied up on the ground with their hands behind their back.
It's like, look,
just a line,
bro. I'm just saying, like, people are being raped, whether they're a man or a woman or something that identifies as neither. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, people are being raped and killed and starving to death and, like, dying of preventable diseases. Why?
Getting denied coverage and killing CEOs.
Oh my God. Did you see that fucking Russia said that they've got a cure for cancer and they're going to release it for free next year?
No.
Yeah, that came out like 2 days ago.
That's a wild claim.
Cool.
I know. That's the most wild. Like, so it's not like they don't know. They haven't said what cancer it cures yet. But
so there's like hundreds of different strains.
Yeah. But the idea is that, like,
that's a bold statement.
They've only come out with like very vague information about how it works. But here's how it works: if you get cancer, they can inject you with it, and then it will make the tumor stop growing or go away.
So it stops the cancer part.
So it stops the cancer part.
Does it stop cell growth specifically then? Because that's kind of what cancer is.
It does like what CRISPR does, if you know what that is, where it's a messenger RNA.
So you can remove the constant repeat growth
that part
from the cancer cells?
Yes. And all they have to do is inject you.
I mean, if it works,
Dude,
then-
if
I'm
it
just more worried
works,
about the side effects of, stopping cell growth.
yeah,
I mean, if it works and doesn't kill you, then cool.
yes, yeah,
Like,
It's
obviously,
like it
with no
stops
one
cancer,
there,
but like your body stops repairing itself entirely, so you die anyway within the
yeah,
next
like
week.
you would just
Uh,
stop the ability to heal.
I'm
Yeah.
32. My body's already going through that. That's as we've already been over. That's not anything new.
Yeah, the current state of Patrick's cells can be summed as apoptosis right now. Just suicide of the cells
I'm
on an
genuine-
individual level, basically.
Every episode, I get grayer and grayer skin. My eyes are sinking in more.
Like, yeah, you can, like, every time he, like, wipes his brow, a little dust falls off, and you can see a
I
little
actually
bit more
show
of
up
the bone
every
in his
20
forehead.
episodes to sap like life away from him. That's how I sustain myself.
Noah is actually a magical succubi of some sort.
Incubi. Well, I mean,
incubi,
actually,
yeah.
oh, sorry, I don't
Can't
want to.
assume my
I
pronouns.
was going to
right now.
say. Anyways, that's the show, folks. Thanks for listening. I'm Patrick.
I'm Eric.
I'm Noah.
Bye.